What's up guys, Nonso here again and welcome to my channel. If you're new to this channel, kindly subscribe, turn on post notification and make sure to hit the like button. This tells YouTube that yes, this content is nice and needs to get to a huge number of persons. So guys, on today's content I'll be doing episode 2 reaction of the trending series All of Us Are Dead. So on the onset of the episode 2, the management got to realize that actually that this is an issue. They started panicking and started deliberating about the whole issue, and then really saw it as an emergency situation. So it was really causing havoc, and all of them were actually arguing rampantly. And then so this head teacher, this female health teacher, decided that it's best they announced to the entire student that this is already a pandemic. This is something that all of them should look out for. So she went, in as much as stepping out of the door was risky for her, trying to navigate to the position where she can use the mic, central mic, to speak to everyone. And she eventually got there and announced to every student. And I guess that was an emotional moment because every student were like, "Omo, I think we're on our own," because she was like, "Everyone, please look out for yourself. Try to be safe. We are in a situation where we can't really help at this moment. We'll try to reach out outside authorities to come and handle the situation." So it was really a very emotional moment. And then I felt if I was in that situation, I would be like, "Omo, whatever that wants to happen, let it happen, but I'm just gonna try to be very so." Another crazy part of this whole stuff that I'm still really finding tough to try to understand is Onyo, if that's the pronunciation. She was acting so dumbfounded. Like, I know that in a situation like this, you are gonna be traumatized. Like, you are you lose yourself, you lose your senses. You might not even have the mental capacity to actually control actions and all. But then again, I think this is where your adrenaline comes in place. This is where your survival instinct doubles. Like, this is where you just want to hamper and look for any safest route and any safest opportunity. The fact that she's just there looking so dumbfounded, like, don't want to make a move, there's a zombie in your front and you don't want to act, you don't want to even just show that yes, you really want to leave. Like, it's a very crazy one. Like, I really didn't get that part at all. Yeah. And then on the other hand, again, we have this that bully guy, one of the top bully guys, him trying to survive by any means possible. Whatever he lays his hand on, he uses to smack the zombies, and then trying to dodge, fly, dive, any single place he can just lay his hands on to survive. Like, he just perches on it. I think this is the kind of instinct that you should maintain in this kind of scenario. Like, you should try to clinch to anything that will actually give you life. Anything. Nobody should blame any person for being self-centered in this situation, because we all want to survive. In as much as it might seem crazy that you about to die and then you bring somebody else to be beaten. It might seem crazy in that way, but then again, it's understandable that everyone wants to survive at that time, at that moment. Though it's a bad attitude, but it's understandable that you all want to survive and all. Back to the police custody, this science teacher that started this whole havoc, this same science teacher. So they are trying to get why he's pained and why he's acting like a psychopath. Like, they brought out his CV and then checked his details, trying to introduce him again, and they're like, you have all this kind of profile, why would you want to settle for like a pharmaceutical PhD holder, and with huge researches and some kind of huge portfolios, that he why should he want to settle for a high school teacher and all? Then I think he was taking it to a different dimension, that maybe the guy is actually looking down on him, that if he had been a professor in a college, in a reputable college, that would he have listened to him, because he told him that they need to go out there and save people, that everyone is going to die if they don't do anything. The police were clueless. Obviously, they didn't know the rate at which this issue has erupted or this issue has gotten, which is crazy. I feel, though it might sound new, like, if it actually happens real in where I am, I think everything I've seen in movies actually flash to my head, and immediately I'll just profile that person or profile that thing as zombie and then threatening my life, and I'll act aggressive towards it. You understand? So this is something that we see in movie, and then when we see it in real life, we should be able to easily profile it and not start doubting. Like, you get, was another crazy stuff. I was even more bitter when the particular girl, like the first person that actually had contact of this zombie infection, when she got to the hospital, how the hospital people were being nonchalant about her, like how they were treating her like it's common, like something like this is common. Like, you see someone reacting, jacking faces, like trying to act weird, something you regularly don't see, and then you are just all acting normal towards it. Like, you guys are professionals in this field. Like, take concrete actions, like very, very tough actions, to like show that, yeah, this thing is weird and this is strange, we don't know what it is yet, but for the meantime, let's cage this person, put this person in a situation whereby we don't want this to leave this environment. Just like the same way when it happened with COVID-19, the way they're quarantining people and then trying to isolate them away from normal people, even when they didn't know how severe it could be. So this is exactly how we had these athletes guys coming to the school, I think for exhibition and all, and then they met issue. I think some of them were actually brave, some of them were actually very thoughtful, some of them brought out their arrows and they started shooting. And then one thing these guys didn't know is, like, they are making that mistake. When it comes to a zombie, you hit the brain, like where their sensory is brain. Like, they have nothing else functioning in their cell. It's just like different cells trying to combat each other to actually survive, thereby causing some kind of catastrophe in your entire system. At that point, the only thing working is just your brain. Like, that's just their brain. That's why their whole joints, their everything is scattering, because only their brain can work at that time. So just shut down their brain and the whole system turns down. And then it's crazy enough, like the emergency system, when the students were trying to call the emergency system, the rescue team, and then they were trying to make a joke out of it. That was not professional. I know this kind of thing happens in outside world, it happens normally. Like, people, I understand that sometimes people, like students, try to make jokes around certain things, or trying to play with the helpline and all. But then again, as professionals, you should try to, when you see one or two calls concerning a particular thing and you trace that these locations are different, you should act. You don't have to wait till you actually observe something significant enough for you to actually make a move concerning it. So it was crazy, like seeing that we had that particular girl who was being bullied. She and her friend they were actually being bullied. It's crazy enough that in a situation like this, where every person's are dying, like, you're still feeling left aside. Imagine she was like, oh, that they can't commit suicide. The guy was like, they can't commit suicide again, that see people are already dying. She was like, okay, everybody's dying now, just both of them are not dying. That she still feels left out. Like, this is crazy. This is the length of how you get traumatized when you are being bullied. And I felt that was very, very funny. That was a very funny moment. And then it was a very crazy moment, that you don't let these things get into your brain and get into your head and then try to control your life. Episode 2 got wrapped up when Onyo's childhood friend got, he tried to when they were running for rescue on one of their classrooms to save themselves, and then he tried to actually save himself. He was the last person trying to do this leadership stuff, trying to put every person in place, and then just him, and he flew away and fell down. The zombie pursued, like, they pushed him away from the window where he was actually trying to climb down. So I don't know if he survived it. I don't know if he's going to survive that, but I pray he survives it, because this guy is one of the great characters I'm looking out for in this series. Like, I'm trying to catch the guys that shouldn't die. If they die, I'm going to feel very, very bad. So that is the highlights of episode 2. So guys, I'm sure you're enjoying this series just like I'm enjoying it. Then if you're not, or if you cannot relate, please go to Netflix and start streaming All of Us Are Dead. A very awesome series. I'm currently trending as #1 in Netflix. Like, possibly has the high tendency, high opportunity to actually surpass the records of Squid Game. I'm just saying, who knows. So subscribe to my channel, turn on post notification, and please share this video and give this video a huge thumbs up.